Very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Sports Tonight. This is the midweek edition of the show. Promises to be exciting, fun-filled, as always. And of course, today, I'm sure a lot of you have been waiting to get updates and to find out exactly what has happened as it concerns their Super Eagles of Nigeria. That, of course, will be one of the major talking points on Sports Tonight this midweek. And I can tell you that if you stay with us for the next 50 minutes, we will be talking about it. And we will also be giving you some updates around domestic football in Nigeria. Globe Premier League match day 18. And yet again, we had an away win in the league. So it's like it's an average of one away win per week. All right? And that's really very good for our game. We'll talk about that as well on the program tonight. We will also spend time today to talk about the girls. Our girls went to Liberia. They went, they saw, they conquered, they hammered their host 7-1 in the first game of the qualifiers for the FIFA Under 20 Women's World Cup. All right, so we'll talk about that as well on the program tonight. We will also be talking about the Women's League on Sports Tonight this midweek. Before I go any further, let me start the show off tonight by just introducing to you those on the show with me, starting from Tunde Koiki, who is to my immediate right. Tunde, good to have you on Sports Tonight.
Thank you very much, sir. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, I don't need to introduce Tunde anyway, but, you know, for formality's sake, I have to do it. Every night, I have to do it. I have to mention my name. I have to talk about Tunde. I have to also introduce Onye Uchumachuku, who you see here every Monday and every Wednesday. But we have to do it. This is Tunde Koiki. He's a content analyst with Complete Communications, publishers of Complete Sports, one of Nigeria's best-selling sports daily. And Onye Uchumachuku doesn't need too much of an introduction himself. He's the news editor of Sporting Life, also one of Nigeria's best-selling sports dailies. They always bring plenty of quality to Sports Tonight on Mondays and Wednesdays. And I'm sure it's not going to be any different today. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
A lot to talk about, really.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys are ready to go. Of course, it's about Sunday Oliseh unveiled today as the coach of the Super Eagles. We'll talk about it extensively. And we will also, as I said, be discussing the Globe Premier League today. We'll be giving you our review in our usual style, talk about the top teams, the bottom teams, the scorers, and of course the stories around some of those games. That will be on the program tonight. But let us start off by way of feedback. And I'm sure that feedback tonight will be very, very key because a lot of you have issues to talk about. You have things that you want to react to, particularly around the Super Eagles of Nigeria and our new coach, Sunday Oliseh. So you can give us your own opinion using the platforms that you are seeing on your screen, on Facebook, on Twitter. Please get across to us. We would like to hear from you. What should be the agenda for our new coach? Let us talk about it on the program tonight. And you can also, not just for the feedback, also watch us live on YouTube, youtube.com/channelsweb. And of course, you can also view on Channel's website, www.channelstv.com. If you want to watch us on your iPad, your iPhone, your BlackBerry, just click on that link you've seen on your screen, m.channelstv.com, and you are able to view us live, seamless. You could also download Channel's app for Android, for iOS, for Windows, from their respective stores. Download and just keep Channels right there in your pockets. I'm not saying you control us, just be able to watch us all the time. All right? So those are just information for you. But don't forget that as you send those comments on Facebook, on Twitter, tell us where you're watching us from so that we can appreciate you even a lot more on the program tonight. Okay? So that's it. Gentlemen, let's start off very quickly without wasting any more time. Today, it happened in Abuja. About this time yesterday, a lot of conflicting reports about National Sports Commission insisting on crossing the T's and dotting the I's and all of that. Will it go on? Will it not go on? But thankfully, all those issues were resolved, and everybody is on the same page. And we're starting with this picture because it is very symbolic. Oh yeah. stamp of approval.
Yes.
From the National Sports Commission.
Yeah, Tony.
That's DG Alassane Yakmut.
Yes, you know you are saying you're talking about the uncertainty surrounding today's unveiling. On Monday, you were not here. We discussed it here that the drama, the NSC saying that they are not aware of the hiring of Oliseh. So I think this one confirms.
There's no aware in this picture anymore.
This one confirms that the NSC.
They are now aware.
They are now carried along.
They are totally in sync with the Nigerian Football Federation.
Which is good for our football.
Yes, today I told you that they will settle it.
Oh yes, you did. You did.
Okay, you guys discussed this.
Oh, extensively.
We are one big family.
Like you guys discussed this.
Like the former ruling party.
No politics.
Yes,
no politics. But the good news is that it's been resolved. So we needed to start with that so that you will know that we are also on the same page. Because we need, as they said yesterday, we were quoting a source from the sports ministry yesterday, said there were still some needs for some I's to be dotted and for some T's to be crossed. Now everybody's on the same page, and I think that's good news for the Nigerian Football Federation, for the National Sports Commission, for Sunday Oliseh. Because how would you feel? You're starting a new job and there's a little bit of air of uncertainty. It doesn't really, that's not the way you want to start the job. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the NFF and for the National Sports Commission that everybody appears to be on the same page. But that is how it should be. Not just now, for the long term. That is how it should be. If we really want to be focused on getting results for our football. All right, so that done. Now that we know that everybody's on the same page, now let's talk about the real thing that happened today. Sunday Oliseh was unveiled, and it was a very, very impressive ceremony. His assistant coaches also there, and you could see Salihu Abubakar, you could see the Belgian, and then you could see Aloy Agu. So I think that confirms that Aloy Agu will be the goalkeeper trainer now, the new goalkeeper trainer for the Super Eagles, replacing Ikesho Romu, who, by the way, has done an amazing job with the national team goalkeepers. But then this is live. Some go, some come. No hard feelings.
Yeah.
But that's the man of the moment, Sunday Oliseh.
Well,
NFL president introduced him as the Guardiola of Nigeria, of Africa. But he quickly said, look, I'm Sunday Oliseh.
Which I thought was a bit superfluous, actually, because, I mean, Guardiola is a totally different individual to
Oliseh. And that's how Oliseh corrected and said, look, I'm Sunday Oliseh.
Which I was very happy that Oliseh did, because by doing that, you are placing too much expectation.
Pressure.
Plenty of pressure on the young man. And let's be candid. These two men are particularly brave. Sunday Oliseh for accepting this job, and Pinnick Amaju and the board of the Nigerian Football Association for appointing him. Because as of early this January, February, I still remember Sunday Oliseh at an event in London saying the reason he hasn't coached the Super Eagles yet is because he doesn't want to die very young. So I don't know what has changed since then. Maybe he has now reassessed his career options. Or maybe he now has a death wish. I don't know. Time will tell.
Time has changed. Oliseh is not going to die. He's not going to, his family is not going to lose.
But this is documented.
Yeah.
At TEDx,
we change opinion. Opinions change over time.
You have the prerogative
now,
to change your mind.
This is July.
Yes.
And Oliseh is the manager of the Super Eagles. So
you probably forgot that there was a time he actually applied to coach the Eagles.
Absolutely. Alongside Stephen Keshi.
Yes. There was a time he applied.
No, but now that's the man in charge.
Yeah. But like I said, both of them are brave, and there's no quality I admire. There are few qualities I admire in humans as much as bravery. Oliseh, make no mistakes about it, he understands the pressure. He understands the expectations of what is expected from him. And the fact that he has actually agreed to do it is also particularly interesting. He also spoke about his assistants, why he needs them. Jean-Francois Lusquito, he says he's a very experienced manager. He has also worked extensively in Africa, and he's willing and eager to work in Africa, so which means that the bedding down process and transition will be seamless. He also mentioned the fact that Salisu Abubakar will be extremely key to what it is that he plans to do going forward. He also mentioned Aloy Agu, his ability as an excellent goalkeeper trainer. So I think he's particularly happy with his backroom staff, also happy with the federation, and moving forward, I just hope that this is not a marriage of convenience. This is not a marriage that either one of them would regret, because he requires plenty of patience, plenty of time in order for him to be able to make a success of this appointment.
Well, we're going to allow you to listen very shortly to the NFF president and to the new coach of the Super Eagles, Sunday Oliseh. But before we do that, before you listen to them on the show tonight, let's just take out a few things from what Sunday Oliseh said. But it was a packed packed event.
Yeah.
Everybody came in, and this is it, Oliseh. That's the 15 that
He wore
that I wore as a captain of the Super Eagles. And interestingly, this is 2015. All right, so that's also very symbolic, and we hope that under Oliseh, maybe we'll have 15 trophies as the Super Eagles coach. Everything winnable, we have to win. But we must wish him. See, we could say all that we want before we decide on what we want. But once the NFF have picked this man as a man to lead the Eagles, it just behoves on everybody to give him all the support. I mean, that's the logical thing to do.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tony, and I'm impressed with his inaugural speech. You know, what I want to summarize in 3 parts, where he said he's not the Messiah, but he will give 150%. You know, showing humility, showing that you know, there's a lot of work to be done. Then every time he said, "I and my assistants," you know, it shows that he's
Team player.
He wants to work with everybody. Then he also talked about his relationship with the Nigerian Football Federation. You know, people asked about you know, when he was a player, he was very stubborn. You know, he said there's a distant relationship between him and his employers. You know, that he has to work. He mentioned Chief Phyllis Ayansiagu, the technical committee chairman, and the rest. And he said all of them are knowledgeable. So I think coming into the national team, he has, you know, decided to work with everybody in the interest of Nigerian football. And we just wish him well. We hope that, like you said, he will win.
Let me pick out something from what he